Welcome to the Echo Tips podcast.
Here's a sneak peek into what we're going to cover in this week's episode of the Echo Tips podcast.
Resuming where you left off.
You arrive at the Lorespire complex, and the receptionist recognizes you, waving you through to Chiskisk's office.
Let's get you started with Terrible Trio. You can ask for help at any time.
Okay.
Bruce Wayne looks at the crowd of party guests and wishes he were fighting crime as Batman. He stands on the balcony at one end of a ballroom inside the private Gotham City Adventurers Club.
Whoa.
It's a bright, sunny day as you and your mother work on your family farm. Your mom spent the morning picking beans, and you've been milking the family cow, Bernice.
Well, hello and welcome to the podcast. As you could tell from our little prelude of what we're going to be discussing today, we're taking a little break from all that work-related things, new things coming out on the Amazon Echo, and AI, and generative AI, and all those other sorts of things. And I'm kind of taking a little break this week. We're going to play with games that is. And the games on the Echo are pretty amazing. I really love the ones that have lots of audio cues and things, and there's every imaginable genre, as we'll discuss. But, you can think trivia, quiz games, timing games, multi-person games, just all sorts of things. But today we're going to zero in on some pretty powerful, pretty cool, wonderful kind of audio games that are kind of choose your own adventure. So we're going to just look at a handful of those, and I think you'll find it pretty amazing. The real production value, I guess is the phrase you would say, the amazing audio landscape this puts you in. Very reminiscent, maybe some things we saw on the kids' games connected with Star Wars and things like that. But these are just general skills and games available to really anyone to play. Now, some of them might be of different age categories or have adult content or the like. So it will notify you about that as well. Okay, so without rambling on, I'd like to welcome our new listeners. Welcome, new listeners. You're welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. I'm the host, David Ward, an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill, based here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Southwest Virginia in the city of Roanoke. So it's good to have you all with us this week, and welcome to the 6th season of the Echo Tips podcast. We have 5 seasons ahead of this, before this, I should say, and just a wealth of information we've covered over the years. On a weekly basis, we try to keep it 5 to 15 minutes long. Sometimes we go a wee bit longer because I'm talkative, but we try to keep it 5 to 15 minutes, and we talk about everything from skills, which are like apps on the Amazon Echo line of devices. We talk about new innovations, music services, home automation. We talk about calendars and reminders and alarms. We talk about things for kids, things for parents, caregivers, seniors, those with different types of disabilities as far as accessibility tools. We just cover a wide gamut. And so feel free to check our back catalog. Because of you and our returning listeners who are with us today, we are well over 120,000 listens to the podcast. So we're really glad to have you guys with us. Well, before we get into these games and adventures and stuff like that, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then we will be right back. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Well, hello and welcome back. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be dealing with Choose Your Own Adventure games today, taking a little break from a lot of things going on. Honestly, I've been doing some research into some topics related to the Amazon Echo. Some way things have been changing, the interactions with some of the skills that used to always work one way, not working so much that way anymore. I'm kind of wondering if some of this is preludes to what we're going to see with AI on the Amazon Echo, but I don't have anything definitive yet, and I almost, guys, got into the beta program to demo some of these new features that were announced in September. And you guys might remember, all you have to do to get kind of enrolled and get notified for those new features when they roll out is just walk over to your A-Lady and say, "Hey, lady, let's chat." And she'll come back with a prompt asking you to, would you like to be notified about future features and things like that. Now, I went and asked it that same question a week or two ago, just a week ago, just a few days ago, actually. And it actually came back to offer to do that very thing. So you may have a different response. And if you do, by all means, delve in. I didn't get to my recording equipment fast enough to record it and get into it, and so I really feel bummed about it. I've been trying ever since. But anyhow, that stuff may be rolling out, and if you have had an experience with some of those new features, by all means, get in contact with us with the podcast. But today we're taking a little break, like I said, and we're going to look at games and choose your own adventures. Now, the ones I really enjoy the most are these ones that are really like full-on audio productions. Now, one I recently been playing with that Robin Christofferson of the Dot to Dot podcast turned me on to is called Starfinder. And Starfinder is like a science fiction choose-your-own-adventure role-playing game kind of thing. And they even branched out into selling merchandise and card decks and stuff on Amazon and stuff like that. So I don't really know which part of their business is really their business, or is it really the skill? Is the skill following the card game, or is the card game following the skill? Either way, it's an amazing production. So let's start off by introducing to that. Now, first off, if you do have an echo in hearing distance of my voice, you may want to shut its ears off. That way I'm not tripping your echo at home. So just give you a second to do that. So the skill again is called Starfinder. And hopefully you all had a chance to do that. Now you always, by the way, can pause the podcast and come back and resume or rewind and that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's press on. Starfinder. Now, it's going to jump me into a certain segment of the story because I'm far along, and it kind of saves where I'm at different points. But let's just give it a try. Alexa, open Starfinder.
Starfinder.
Resuming where you left off.
You arrive at the Lorespire complex, and the receptionist recognizes you, waving you through to Chiskisk's office. The Sheeran looks up as you enter, antennae twitching in anticipation.
Back so soon. What have you learned?
You explain that the evidence points to the Downside Kings having intentionally assassinated Duravor Creel, and that you believe they were hired by Astral Extractions as part of the ongoing dispute over the Acreon and the Drift Rock.
Excellent work. But how do we bring them to justice?
Alexa, stop.
Okay. Just ask me to play Starfinder to pick back up where you left off.
All right, so that gives you a little taste of that, the audio production level of that, and of course it will stop and ask you things, who do you want to investigate? And give me multiple choice. Do you want to go yes or no, proceed? Do you want to attack? Do you want to run? Do you want to hide? Do you want to change weapons? Do you want to use certain tools in your tool belt? You have purchasing capability like most games, and your credits you accrue. You just have a wide variety of things in this game that are pretty staggering. And to kind of give it kind of a fresh approach too, there's different levels that you get at, kind of like a skill, what's my combat skill? What's my techno skill? And so it kind of rolls the dice for you as you go through these different things where you have to establish different levels of capability or grow those levels. So really kind of cool. The first story is basically free, and then after that you can, I think, upgrade to get additional stories and things like that. Okay, so that gives you one example. Here's a couple more. This is a company, Earplay, which makes a lot of these. And we've covered one of these way back called Codename Cygnus, which is still around and still a pretty amazing production as well. But here's some ones where they worked with, I believe, I think this is Capcom Games. I could be wrong. But they have a Superman and Batman one. So let's just try that out. Alexa, open Batman Adventure.
Welcome to Batman Adventures, a You Choose story bundle from Capstone, made with Earplay.
Capstone.
Would you like to play the tutorial first? Yes or no?
No, it's not very impressive.
Would you like to play the tutorial first? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, let's get you started with Terrible Trio. You can ask for help at any time.
Okay.
Bruce Wayne looks at the crowd of party guests and wishes he were fighting crime as Batman. He stands on the balcony at one end of a ballroom inside the private Gotham City Adventurers Club. The hall is filled with animal trophies and unusual objects brought back from trips to far-off lands. Potted plants have been brought in to make the room look like a jungle.
Alexa, stop.
Thanks for playing Terrible Trio. Your place in the story will be saved, so next time you can pick up right where you left off by saying, Alexa, open Batman Adventures and resume. Goodbye for now.
Okay, so that gives you a little taste of that game. This one, Batman and Superman, there's one called Batman Adventure, one called Superman Adventure. I haven't played with a lot, and the original tutorial is kind of self-defeating in a way. It has practically no audio jingles or anything to it also. That was going to be really boring. But knowing that it was designed by Earplay, I knew there was going to be a probably impressive audio production there. So when you jump right into the game, you definitely get all that kind of vibe and stuff. So, like I said, I don't know a lot about those games, but you probably have some like in-purchase things you can upgrade to. But very, very kind of cool. Batman, Superman. We talked about Codename Cygnus is one that they've done for a long time. This is one that I think might be geared towards kids, but I'm not too sure. It probably is. Let's give this a try. Alexa, open You and the Beanstalk.
Okay, here's You and the Beanstalk. Welcome back to You and the Beanstalk, a story you play with your voice. Would you like to play the tutorial first? Yes or no?
No. Whoa.
It's a bright, sunny day as you and your mother work on your family farm. Your mom spent the morning picking beans, and you've been milking the family cow, Bernice. Now it's lunchtime, and you and your mother sit at the kitchen table, enjoying a bowl of her legendary bean stew. It definitely seems to have a magic to it. Your mom once invited two feuding neighbors over for dinner, and after just one bowl of stew, they settled their differences
Alexa,
and became like...
Stop.
Thanks for playing You and the Beanstalk. Your place in the story will be saved, so next time you can pick up right where you left off. Come back soon.
All right, so that gives you a little taste of that one. Now, I think Earplay worked with a public radio station in the development of that one. But yeah, pretty nifty. But by all means, feel free to explore, choose your own adventures. If you want to, you can always go to the Amazon.com, change your drop down from, t-shirts and dresses and lawn ornaments to A Lady Skills. It's right at the top. And that way, when you run a search, you will come up with, everything that's in the skill store. And you can search for something like Choose Your Own Adventure or Earplay, which is EARPLAY, no spaces. That's one of the vendors that makes a lot of choose your own adventures. But yeah, very cool. I found a few others you may want to look at that I played with real quick. I think there was a Red Riding Hood, choose your own adventure. There was one called Captain Stalwart. That one was kind of interesting. Anyway, so there's a wide variety of stuff out there like this. And of course, it's entertaining, it's fun, it's interactive. In some instances, you may actually be solving puzzles and problems and things like that. So, and if anything, it's helping you work with your interaction with the 8-lady. So, just very interesting, kind of cool. And I just figured I'd bring it to y'all's attention. We've looked at some of this stuff before, but thought I'd bring it up anew. Especially with some of these are just amazing, like the Starfinder. The production value is amazing. It's like a movie or something. It's pretty awesome. Okay, well, if you have any thoughts or suggestions for a future episode, or maybe you're one of those individuals who gets enrolled into the beta program with some of the new AI generative things rolling out on the 8-lady, it's going to make her much smarter, then by all means, let us know what your experience is. You can do that on Facebook or Twitter at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys. Just look us up on there. Or you can even email us, like old-fashioned email, info@goodwillvalleys.com. And just in the subject line or on Facebook or Twitter, just be sure to earmark it in a way that says, hey, I'm trying to get a message to Dave of the Echo Tips podcast, and it will find its way to me. Well, until next time, it's time to turn the ears on your Echo, start practicing some of the many things that you've learned and the games you can play. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and we do thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. Let me tell you a bit more. Let me put on my official sounding voice. Ahem, ahem. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Phew! Thanks for listening.